All right, well, as you all know, FusionNet is going to begin at 9 p.m. officially, but we start our pre-check portion at 8:30. With that said, I always get confused if we clear the airwaves at 8:20 or 8:25. Since I'm here, let's clear the airwaves now for another 10 minutes. It won't hurt anybody. Let's clear them right now, and then we will do pre-check at 8:30 p.m., guys. If I seem a little out of energy today, it's because I've been battling either a flu or some kind of virus. So stand by. Today we're going to have a fun, nice, light, airy net. I hope everyone enjoys. I could have a question that I think you'll enjoy. So stand by. KD2 LRX. KD2LRX. So if you all didn't hear me at 8:19 and 8:20, pre-check set to begin at 8:30 p.m. We have the airways clear. We've had them clear for the last 5 minutes or so, and we'll continue to do so for the next 5. And then pre-checks begin 8:30 p.m. KD2 LRX.
I'll call you after dinner. Oh, shit.
KD2LRX. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the pre-check portion of FusionNet. So I know that there are a few things in queue as we speak, getting ready for FusionNet pre-check. So I'll take them one at a time. Let me hit the start logging tab on NetLogger. Was my wrong password. Hold on one second, guys. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Promise. All right. Gotta put in my credentials. 1 second. Folks, I'm in, officially. Thank you, Joe, for putting those in. I had NetLogger up, but I didn't put in my password to click start logging, but now I'm... Alright, so we have KD2LRX, we have the one and only infamous AC2AE. I'm going to put in my temperature first at 65 degrees on that control, and then, before we hit any other stations, with their check-ins, let's get Joe's present temperature. Joe, if you're there, kindly give us your local temperature, and I'll have you down as traffic.
All right. What's going on there, Jay? AC2. AE, yeah. Gravesend, Brooklyn, New York. Always chasing two American Eagles. And it is a nice 68 windy degrees out there. Hey, wait, my temperature just disappeared. Why did that just disappear? Oh, I guess you could just throw it in there now. But I got 68 degrees here in Gravesend, Brooklyn, New York.
All right, very good. 68 degrees in Gravesend, Brooklyn. I have 65 in Great Neck, New York. Who wants to be number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on? Net Control calls any stations want to pre-check FusionNet now, KD2LRX.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody out there. This is Kilo Bravo 6 Delta Hotel Romeo, Mike, Kelso, Washington, coming through on Wires X, and it is currently 69.3 degrees and clear.
All right, I have TV6EHR in Kelso. Michael, welcome aboard, sir, 69.3. Did you have traffic tonight?
Sorry, I forgot about that. No traffic.
All right, sir, very good. All right, who wants to be check-in number 4? Please call now, net control. This is KD2LRX.
Kilo Bravo 2, India Delta X-ray, Cape Coral, Florida. 81 degrees, 79% humidity. Kilo Bravo 2, India Delta X-ray.
All right, KD2IDX. I think you said 81 degrees. And guys, be sure when you check in, moving forward, everyone, let us know whether or not you have traffic, okay? If you do, tell us. If you don't, no problem either. So KB2IDX, go ahead and just confirm 81 degrees, and do you or don't you have traffic?
No traffic, sir. Thank you.
Net control.
Or you have the warmest temperature, but we have a ways to go, so let's see. Who wants to be number 5? KD2LRX.
Net control. Number 5, Delta Whiskey Romeo. Dennis, Spring, Texas. Currently 92 degrees. I will have no traffic tonight. Back to you, Jay.
Wow, I spoke too soon. I thought KB2IDX had a chance of having the warmest temperature, and right after him, Dennis knocked him out. How rude, Dennis. 92 degrees, Spring, Texas. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, let's continue taking some more check-ins. Check-ins, everybody. KD2LRX, net control.
Net control, this is Zulu, Lima, 2, Bravo, Echo, Zulu. Paul in Wellington, New Zealand. Temperature here is 52.6 degrees, and I have no traffic. Over.
All right, our friend Paul in Wellington, New Zealand, knocking me out of the running for having the coldest temperature tonight. 52.6 in Wellington, New Zealand. ZL2 BTZ. How about that? All right. Who wants to be check-ins number 7, 8, 9, and maybe 10? KD2 LRX.
Kilo Delta 2, Mike Sierra Uniform, Howling Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York. It is 63 degrees on the way down to 50. And I'll have an update on the weather.
All right, welcome aboard, Howie. We got you in there, 63 degrees. You got our weather forecast coming up. KD2 MSU. Welcome aboard, sir. All right, more check-ins. KD2 LRX.
Whiskey Bravo 9, Lima United Lima, in the Bronx, 64 degrees, Handler's Gene, Golf Echo November Echo.
All right, Eugene, welcome aboard, sir. Glad to have you here, WB9LUL. You're up in the Bronx at 64 degrees. Do you have any traffic for tonight? You tell us yes or no, and then if you do, then we'll get to you a little bit later with your traffic.
Traffic, thank you.
No, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. All right, KD2LRX calling for more stations, looking to check in. All right, so far we have a nice count of check-ins. We have EC2AE in Gravesend, Brooklyn. We have KB6DHR in Kelso, Washington. KB2IDF in Cape Coral, Florida. We have N5BWR in Spring, Texas. ZL2BEZ in Wellington, New Zealand. KD2MSU in Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York. We have WB9LUL from the Bronx, New York as well. All right. Any stations looking to check in may do so now. This is the pre-check portion of FusionNet. We start this net in 20 minutes from now officially, but we do the pre-check from 8:30 till 9. KD2LRX.
KD2LRX, this is Kilo Golf 0 Bravo Kilo. We've got 57 degrees here in Manchester, and I will have some traffic.
All right. In beautiful Manchester, Iowa, we have the one and only KG0BK. He's got traffic, and he's at 57 degrees today, or tonight, in Manchester, Iowa. Very good. Welcome aboard, sir. KD2LRX looking for more check-ins.
November 7, Mike Kilo Yankee, David in Boise, Idaho, where it's balmy 70 degrees, no traffic, and in and out.
All right, N7MKY. What's up, David? How are you, buddy? 70 degrees. Got no traffic. I think I have you as an in and out as well, but of course, when we get to the question, we'll see if you're around. All right, any other stations looking to check in? Call net now.
It's KJ7, Bravo Julius Sierra, Kevin, Nevada tonight, portable coming in on the hotspot. No traffic.
Kevin, how are you? KJ7BJS, glad to have you here. Did you say you're in Nevada tonight? And what's your local temperature, and what part of Nevada are you in? Because I'll mark you down as being in such place on our netbogger. And do you have traffic?
Okay, Roger, Roger. Yeah, Northern Nevada tonight. I'm working down here. I'm normally back in the Boise, Idaho area near David.
All right, fantastic. And what's your local temperature in northern Nevada? Do you know, by the way, also the city in northern Nevada you're in? All right, with nothing heard from KJ7 BJS, let's give them one more try. Kevin, do you know your local temperature and what city are you close to in northern Nevada?
Okay, Roger, Roger. Yeah, coming in on a hot spot, so I might be missing a little bit. I'm in Winnemucca, Nevada, so somewhat northern Nevada. I believe it's about 65 degrees currently. It was 46 this morning. And yeah, coming in on a hot spot. Normally, I reside in the Boise, Idaho area. So good evening to the group. I'll listen out and participate. I believe this is my first time to participate with the group.
Of course, Kevin is in the hardest to spell city in Nevada, Winnemucca, Nevada, which I had to look up. Winnemucca. I did hear that he does have 65 degrees. Winnemucca. Wow, that's a hard one. I like that though. Winnemucca. All right, we got you in there, my friend. Any other stations looking to check in, please call net control now. November Victor 7 Sierra Sierra. November Victor. All right, I heard NG7SS. Ken, if you could tell us your local temperature and if you have traffic, please. Yeah, this November Victor 7 Sierra Sierra. Yeah, the local temperature is 85 degrees and no traffic. All right, 85 degrees, no traffic. Got you in there in Indian Springs. Usually, you are one of those stations, my friend, that knocks out everybody for the warmest temperature. Tonight, you're beat by Texas, so it's 92 degrees. um, so there you have it. All right, any other stations looking at check-in?
KK7AYJ, Annette in Boise, Idaho, where it is 70 degrees, and I will have traffic.
All right, Cigarette Annette, we got you in there. KK7AYJ in Boise, Idaho, where it's 70 degrees, and she's got the joke of the evening coming up in not too long from now. All right, very good. Any other stations looking to check in?
Kilo 2, Charlie Victor Delta. Hi, Jason, everybody. This is Chris on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. 66 degrees, and I have just a little bit of traffic.
All right, we got you in there, K2CVD in Boise, Idaho. Oh, in Boise, Idaho. I was looking at a net check-in. I meant to say from New York, the Upper West Side, 66 degrees. I got you in there. Of course, you have traffic. We're so happy that you do. And you're number 14 tonight. All right, any other stations looking to check in, please call that control now. While we wait for more check-ins, I gotta say, I did a Google search for Winnemucca, Nevada. Kind of intrigued by it. And it looks like a neat little town or city, if you will. Looks really, really cool.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about it. It's heavily mining, gold mining, and different kinds of mining. And the gold miners pay for everything. The hospital, it's probably like 35,000 people here. And the gold miners built an amazing hospital, and everybody that lives within the county has automatic life flight paid for by the gold miners. The gold miners pay for everything. Roger?
Wow, how neat is that, and how wonderful is that at the same time? It's really, really cool. They have like little casinos here and there. It looks like um, it almost. I mean, I encourage everybody to do a Google search for Winnemucca, Nevada. Winnemucca, Nevada. It's very intriguing. It looks like you know when you think of an old western town. It's very, very cool. Very, very nice. Very cool. There's like a neat little postcard that I just found online that says, "Howdy from Winnemucca, Nevada." And it's all cars from like the 50s and everything, and shows the town and it shows the mountains in the background. I'm digging this place. I should definitely check out Winnemucca, Nevada one day. I'm intrigued. You got me intrigued. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. 82 LRS. All right, folks. We're at number 15 now. We'll soon to be. Who wants to be the 15 check-in? Please call net control now. We're 9 minutes away from the start of FusionNet. This is KD2LRX. If I don't see myself, well, I've been battling some kind of virus since Tuesday evening. I don't want to get into the gruesome details of what that entails. It's kind of disgusting. But in any case, I'm happy to be with you all tonight. We're certainly going to have a lot of fun. And I'm so glad to be joined by all of you as we are blessed each and every Thursday night. So who wants to be number 15 on our check-in list? Please call net control now. 82 LRX.
KD2LRX, KA5 ELE Western.
That station could go one more time, nice and slowly, so I could get you down there on the log. And your local temperature and whether or not you have traffic, please.
Okay, the call is Kilo Alpha 5 Uniform Lima Echo.
Kilo Alpha 5 Uniform Lima Echo. My name is Ralph, and we're located in San Angelo, Texas, where the sun set already about 10 to 15 minutes ago. It's still about 89 degrees, just almost a 90. That's our weather.
Ralph, we're so glad to have you joining us tonight on FusionNet. KA5ULE. So happy to have you here tonight. I got you down with 89 degrees. And do you have any traffic you want to share with us a little bit later this evening?
No, I don't have any traffic. I just was looking at the FCS 310 dashboard. I noticed there's a lot of activity on this particular group. I said, well, there must be a net. So here I am. I'm just going to sit here and
Well, we're certainly more than happy to have you here. Stand by. We do this every Thursday starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we stop whenever we want to call it quit. The other thing that we do is we either have a question of the evening that either myself or my fellow net control operators or you or anybody else who joins this net could come up with. And if you ever wanted to pose a question, just email us at fusion@thefusionnet.org. Sometimes we do trivia nights. We pass traffic. We have a lot of fun here. We also have a website, thefusionnet.org. You can check that out. 10 straight check-ins makes you an instant free member of FusionNet, and you will have, once you get that 10 check-in, full access to that website. So just a lot of fun to be had. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you stick around. We hope you become a frequent member of this net, and we thank you so much for finding us, KA5ULE. All right. Any other stations looking to check in tonight?
KD2LRX Net Control. Good evening. Good evening from Orlando, Florida. This is Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Yankee Charlie. KC4ZYC.
KC4ZYC. Glad to have you here. From Beloit, Wisconsin. If you could go ahead with your local temperature and whether or not you have traffic for this evening's net, and we'll put you down on the log.
KD2LRX Net Control from KC4ZYC. That information on QRZ is dated. I need to get that changed. I am now a permanent resident of Orlando, Florida, and live right across the way from where the big Ferris wheel is here in the south end of Orlando, also known as Dr. Phillips. Moved down here June 20th and been here ever since, and things are going quite well, actually. Other than that, don't have any traffic other than we're keeping an eye on the tropics down here. There might be a storm. It's going to be heading into the Gulf. I think not this week, but we got to worry about it next week. Got a Hamfest coming up October 7th and 8th in Melbourne, which is just down the road from here. It's quite a ways away for some of you guys, but it's not a bad one. Small Hamfest, definitely not as big as Orlando, but it's not bad. Despite that, nothing further. So let's see. We had a nice day today. Nice sunny skies, and I think the temperature right now it's about 84 degrees. KD2LRX, KC4ZYC, back over to you, sir.
Fantastic. Well, I have you now marked as Orlando, Florida, and week after week you'll probably have to remind me and our fellow net control operators that you are in fact in Orlando now because NetLogger automatically defaults you to your previous residence. But I have you marked down now in Orlando on the logbook, which is fantastic. I love Orlando, Florida. I have spent many days, weeks, months in Orlando. Kissimmee, nearby. A lot of great stuff in Orlando. Downtown Orlando, beautiful. Of course, you guys have Disney and Universal. And you guys do have Hamfest, too. Nice little ham following down there as well, which is wonderful. We are so glad to have you here tonight, KC4 ZYC Howard in Orlando, Florida. Welcome aboard, sir, to FusionNet. Any other stations? Actually, I'm going to hold on pre-checks because I cannot believe my eyes when I'm about to say what I'm about to say. The official start of FusionNet is about to begin in just a few seconds from now. So let me get everything I need to start this net, and we'll get this thing started. How about that, guys? All right, I'm ready to start the net. I don't know what the clock's telling me to do yet, but you know what? I'm going to start it. I know it starts at 9, but we're like a few seconds away. All right? So good evening. This is KD2LRX. Welcome to FusionNet. I'm your net control operator for this evening, and this net meets every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, unless otherwise noted. And of course, you don't need to be a member to check into this net, but why not consider joining? So how do you all check into this net? Or how do you join this net, I should say, officially? Very simply. Check in 10 times consecutively, that means in a row. And at the 10th, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not feeling good tonight, so I'm not reading that well. But let me restart that. How do you join this net? Very simple. Check in 10 times consecutively, that means in a row. At the time of your 10th check-in, please tell us if your email address is up to date on your QRZ page. If not, just let us know by sending us an email to fusion@fusionnet.org. With membership, you have access to exclusive content on our website. It's that simple, and it is 100% free, folks. Can't beat that deal. So this net is directed, meaning that all traffic must go through yours truly, Net Control. In order to check in to this net, please switch off your AMS automatic mode, select on your Fusion radios, and go down to DN mode, that's digital narrow. Use your press to talk button, pause for a moment, and then transmit your call sign, your name, your location, temperature, and whether or not you have traffic for the net. Alright, nice and simple, right? At this time, we're now calling for mobile, short on time, and in and out stations only who would like to check into FusionNet. So any mobile, short on time, or in and out stations who would like to check in, here's your opportunity. Please call Net Control now, KD2LRX. Any stations want to check in that are mobile, short on time, or in and out, once more, here's your chance to do so. KD2LRX. All right, but nothing heard. Let's do another general call for check-ins in that case. Any stations wishing to check in to FusionNet now, any and all, may do so by calling Net Control KD2LRX. Here, check-ins. Here, check-ins. Any station looking to check in, please call Net Control now, KD2LRX. We already have 16 who wants to be number 17. Alright, nothing heard now, but don't worry. There'll be plenty more times if you're a little camera shy and didn't want to get on the air yet with check-ins. There will be many other opportunities to check into the net. And I gotta tell you guys, for a guy who's been sick for the last 2.5 days now, I am having fun being with you guys tonight. Really am. It's really nice to be around my friends tonight. Really, really a great thing. So happy to be here. All right. With that said, let's go on over to Joe, AC2AE, one of my good buddies, one of my best buddies. He's AC2AE. He's got some traffic for us, and he's always got some fun and interesting stuff to share. So we're going to pass it along to him. He's been so busy, guys. So if he seems like he's a little tired tonight, it's because he's been working his butt off on some incredible projects. For those that don't know, not only does the guy make t-shirts, not only does the guy make hats, but the guy also makes mugs. He makes, you name it, he can personalize anything. This guy's incredible. AC2AE, we're turning it to him for traffic.
Woo, wow. I don't know if I can follow that. Yes, I've been working. I've been very, very tired. And, yeah, I had to shut my phone off and everything today. I'm getting all these text messages. Keep going back to the phone because I'm so addicted to it. So just shutting it off. But that's besides the point, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the FusionNet, guys. Just want to let you guys know about a few things on our website that we have and a few of the other nets that we're venturing out into. On Monday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, we have the Amateur Radio Brothers in Christ Bible Fellowship. So all of you that are interested, stop by. It's right here, the same way you got here tonight, the same way that you get here on Monday nights, guys. And I got to say, it's pretty interesting. We've got a small following. We're hoping that it grows like the mustard seed and takes root and just starts going out there, man. For those who don't know, we do have our own website. It is thefusionnet.org, thefusionnet.org. I should really have a timer set here, and I don't. But pulling one up right now. Okay, good. I got a minute and 44. Otherwise, I'm going to get a timeout award. And these guys on this FusionNet are kind of brutal with that. All right, guys, if you are not a member of the FusionNet already, if you just come in here for the first time, or even if it's your second or third time, just to let everybody know that we have free membership, like Jay was saying just a moment ago. Come here, check it in 10 times in a row, and you get free lifetime membership to the FusionNet, and it'll give you access to everything on the webpage. So if you go to the webpage and there's certain pages you can't see, just keep on coming back. Keep on coming back, and you'll get free lifetime membership. And if you're here like 9 times and you can't make the next week, just let us know. I think the guys will let you slip in on 9 check-ins. But we're not a stickler for it. Also, if you guys, let me let this go. All right, if obviously if some of you guys are here, we have multiple ways of getting into the FusionNet, not just through Yaesu Wires X. You can get in through DMR, D-Star, YSF, the QuadNet, XLXNet that we have set up for you guys. So you can all get there. Just go to the FusionNet.org, go to the upper right-hand corner in the menu, and there is a How to Connect page. You can pull it up on your computer. You can even download the PDF. It'll give you all the do's and don'ts for the system here and how you can be heard throughout the entire system. Also, if you go to the FusionNet.org, you'll see the entire FusionNet team. You'll see Jay, of course, myself. You'll see Dave. You'll see Rusty out there. You'll see the engineer, Ryan. You'll see Cigarette and Net. You'll have KD2 MSU out there, our statistician, and our ambassadors to the net. Guys, we also have merchandise for the net. So if you want to get yourself a FusionNet t-shirt, just click on the merchandise link and get yourself a nice FusionNet t-shirt. None of those proceeds go to myself or anybody else on the FusionNet. It goes directly to the FusionNet for upkeep of the system, and that's it. You get yourself a nice quality shirt, and you help keep the FusionNet on the air. We also have a YouTube page. So go visit us on YouTube. Just look up the FusionNet, and you'll see us on YouTube. We've got a Facebook page. You can see us on Facebook as well. Am I running out of time? Nope, I got some time left. All right. Every week we post our check-ins and stats thanks to our statistician and whoever keeps net logger for the week. We keep a log of everybody who checks into the net. We also tell you where they're from, how many states, how many countries, how many continents. And, man, let me tell you, it's interesting every week. Check out Rusty Balloons page. We have a Rusty Balloons page, and that is KG0BK. His name is Russ. We call him Rusty Balloons because his group launches balloons. So if you want to see balloon launches and learn a little bit of something about launching these balloons, go check out Rusty Balloons page. Week after week, we have KD2 MSU, who is our local resident meteorologist, and he will provide the warmest and coldest temperatures every week. He's going to give us a nice report tonight. Let me let this drop. All right, and if you're wondering why it's taking me so long to come back after I let it drop, guys, we do have many systems linked up here. We're also linked to the N7MKY room out in Boise, Idaho, otherwise known as the Monkey Room. So, and he is linked to the local repeaters out there. So we do have about a 3-second delay. So for all the links to catch up with each other. So in between transmission, guys, please just count the Mississippi or 2 or 3. I prefer 3, and let all the links just catch up so we can hear everybody. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it, guys. Oh, I forgot about the Tesla files. Yes, we got another link on here for the Tesla files. If you guys are interested in Nikola Tesla, just go to the FusionNet.org, upper right-hand corner, and slide yourself down the menu all the way down to the Tesla files. We've got the entire series on there. So just come check us out, guys. We have a lot of interesting things. We have a topics of interest page, guys. You got to go to the topic of interest page, guys. We are forever updating it. We have got links to many sites, from amateur radio to things you can do on the computer, looking up cities. I can't even explain the topics of interest. It just got a bit of everything there for everyone. Most important, guys, we want you guys to email us and just let us know that you're out there. The email is fusion@thefusionnet.org, fusion@thefusionnet.org. We are very interested in hearing what you guys have to say about us. Just don't curse us out or anything like that. We want to know if you have a question or a topic of discussion that we could pose on the net. We want to make this net fun for everybody. We want to make sure that we're covering topics that you guys want to discuss. And that's about it. Be sure to come back next week. Next week is trivia. So we're going to do amateur radio trivia next week. And that happens to be my favorite because guess who hosts it? Yours truly, AC2, AE. I think I got it all. Guys, don't forget, Monday night, Amateur Radio Brothers in Christ Bible Fellowship. Looking to see you there. Alpha Charlie 2 Alpha Echo, back on over to none other than KD2 LR. Oh, am I forgetting something? Hold on, let's see. Am I going to time it out? Get on. Oh, yes, hold on 1 second. Oh, me. Oh, that's for me to get on that. Okay.
Joe. Yes, that was for you, my friend. That was for you. Thank you so much for that amazing traffic. Hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah, thank you again so much for that great traffic, Joe. Really appreciate it. You covered every single base and more. Really appreciate it. Check out, again, the FusionNet.org. Don't forget, you get full access to that wonderful website by just checking into this net 10 times in a row. And now it's freaky. My TV just turned on. Hold on, guys. I'm not sure why. That's weird, guys. Norman Lear just popped up on my screen for some reason. I'm not really sure what that was about. But anyway, I'm back. I want to make sure I'm making it through the net. Joe, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. And listen, better Norman Lear than Norman Bates.
Yes, you are absolutely true. So, Joe, you did a great job passing that traffic. Really appreciate it. The one thing that I think Joe forgot to mention, and more to come from Howie as well, summer officially ends tonight at 9:30 Eastern. So I think we have about 15 more minutes of summer, and then it becomes fall. So this FusionNet is in both summer and fall. How about that? Pretty cool. I think I had that right. Howie will confirm that in just a little while. So that's what I've got. And I feel like there was something else I had to tell you all, but I can't remember it right now. So if it comes back to me, I'll be sure to bring it up. All right. In the meantime, let's go on over to Howie, KD2MSU. He'll confirm if what I said is true, or if it's not, I think it is true, but maybe I'm wrong. He'll also tell us what the forecast is for the upcoming few days. So, KD2MSU, take it away.
I'm not sure if it ended at 9 a.m. or it's 9:30 p.m. But it's irrelevant. Meteorologists use the meteorological summers, nearly the 3 warmest months, as I discussed, I think, last week or the week before, June, July, and August. So climatological summer already ended. So we are in the fall. So tomorrow here in New York, probably be around 50 degrees. Probably have to go back 3 months or more. I didn't check on my records. And okay, we have the hurricane Fiona going to pass to the west of Bermuda, and they get a break. It's going to be an inch or two of rain for them at least, and 60, 70 mile an hour gusts. So tropical storm conditions probably as a minimum. And then that storm will head out to Nova Scotia, where conditions could be worse for them, and they're not used to it. So they'll have to watch out over there. I'm not sure in history what storms have affected Nova Scotia seriously, but aim for maybe wind here in New York City around October 3rd. plus or minus a day. Remember, we're talking about something that didn't even form yet, so it's a little risky. As for the overall weather, most of the country for the beginning of October, it's going to be above normal. And we may have a 180-degree day working for New York, even the beginning of October, the first week of October, I should say. Okay, well, that's about it. It's going to be 50 tomorrow morning, so dig out at least a sweatshirt or something, a little warmer. But it's going to warm up again. It'll probably be good on Saturday and go downhill on Sunday. So I think it'll be in the 70s on.
Howie timed out. Howie timed out.
How far did I get?
You only timed out for like 2 seconds or so. So, you were just, I think you were just wrapping it up.
Okay, I was just doing all weekend weather. Saturday looks like the better day. Sunday probably cloud up during the afternoon, maybe it'll rain by sunset. So again, there might be an 80-degree day working in the first week of October. And at any rate, just about the whole country is going to be above normal. Looks like all the cold air is out of Canada too, below normal air. It's all relative. I'm talking relative to normal temperatures. Looks like the whole country is above normal sometime during the first week of October. Okay, I'll scale it out to 2. Mike Sierra Uniform back to net control.
All right, Howie, thank you so much for the weather update. Appreciate that in our upcoming weather forecast. As we proceed into the weekend, as always, most accurate weatherman on all of ham radio and all forms of media, I should say. 82 MSU. Thank you. All right, we're going over Russ, KG0BK, who's got some traffic for us over in Manchester.
Well, thank you, Jay. Yes, I do. Little argument with our team about where the balloon's at. I say it came down, and W5KUB himself said no, it's up over the Arctic Circle. But I haven't got any reports since since the 13th. Tuesday the 13th was the last report I could get anywhere. And at that time it was over northeast Russia, and 13 wasn't real good. My last signal I got from it was at 12:13 in the afternoon, and it was flying at 130 kilometers. That's 13, and his altitude was 13,349 meters. Yeah, 13 didn't sound good. I don't know how they're getting that, and he said he's got a report, so maybe it's still there. But that's where I've had for the last little over a week, was northeast Russia. Haven't received anything more. And at that time it was slightly over 8 miles high, and it had traveled almost 81,000 miles. Now, in that 81,000 miles, we only made it around the world, actually around the world, one time. So we took a lot of shortcuts. So that's it for that. I'll be right back with Cracker Jack specs. Okay, Cracker Jack specs. On this day in history, the famous people born were, oh, you see the road surface machines that lay down asphalt? Well, this guy invented those back in 1756. His name was John Loudon McAdam. Kind of interesting. 1756 road surface machine, which kind of made asphalt into a road. H.G. Wells was born in 1866. In 1874, Gustav Holst. He was the composer of The Planets, if you're familiar with that at all. He was born in 1874 on this date. Bill McMurray, everybody knows Bill McMurray, born in 1950. Ricky Lake, the talk show host, was born in 1968. Stephen King was born in 1947. And for those that like Houston Rockets, guard number 11, Bryce Drew, was born in 1974. And I got some time left, so maybe we can go ahead and finish up here if I can get my notes to scroll. There we go. Okay, events on this day in history. The first daily newspaper in the United States began publications, and they started that in Pennsylvania. That was in the year 1784. The first auto manufacturer opens in 1895, and it's a Duria Motor Wagon Company. And I'm not sure what that is. I should look that up. Let's see what else was good here. Oh, the flashbulb was invented by Jonathan Ostermeyer, not to be confused with Oster. Maybe I said Ostermeyer. It is Ostermeyer. Anyway, he patented the light bulb or the flashbulb in 1930. The Nautilus, the nuclear submarines, commissioned in 1954. And in 1993, NYPD Blues premieres. And I wanted to throw this one in too because it's one of my, I don't know why, but it's one of my favorites, comedies. This was yesterday. In 1964, the first premiere of The Addams Family went on TV. Capital idea. And I timed out.
Russ, yes, you did time out. I'm not sure if you had any more that you wanted to share, though. That's why I let the air open, if you will, for you.
I just noticed it was close. I'll repeat the last three. That's most you could have missed. 1954, the nuclear submarine Nautilus is commissioned. 1993, NYPD Blues premieres. And one of my favorites, and this is from yesterday, in 1964, yesterday, The Addams Family premieres. Capital idea. KG0BK.
All right, Russ, I have a question for you on your Crappy Jack facts, though. You said something about Oscar Mayer inventing some kind of light bulb? The hot dog guy?
No, it looks like it's OSTER Meyer. My balloon. He has a first name. It's, oh, wait. Yeah, I guess it's Johann Ostermeyer. And he patents the first flash bulb. The ones that you put in, flash, and kill your eyes, and then you had to throw the bulb away because it burned up. And then you put another one in. KG0BK.
Okay, gotcha now. Thank you very much. And, you know, I guess everyone's timers are broken tonight between you and KD2MSU. So far, no active net control operator talking on the air tonight has timed it out. Only participants. Watch me time out. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. All right, with that said, let's go on over to KT7AYJ, who's got our joke of the evening. Will she time it out? We'll just have to wait and see.
KK7AYJ to net control. I am moving to the light so I can read my joke.
Find that light, Annette. Find that night.
7AYJ, cigarette Annette with the joke of the evening. A young man buys condoms thinking that tonight's the night. Then this happens. A young man goes into a drugstore to buy condoms. The pharmacist says the condoms come in 3, 9, or 12, and asks which ones the young man wants. Well, he says, I've been seeing this girl for a while, and she's really hot. I want the condoms because I think tonight's the night. We're having dinner with her parents, and then we're going out. And I've got the feeling I'm going to get lucky after that. Once she's had me, she'll want me all the time. So you'd better give me that 12-pack. The young man makes his purchase and leaves. Later that evening, he sits down to dinner with the girlfriend and her parents. He asks if he might give a blessing, and they agree. He begins to pray and continues praying for several minutes. The girl leans over to him and says, You never told me that you were such a religious person. The boy leans over to her and whispers, You never told me that your dad was a pharmacist.
That was one of the best ones you've ever told. And I knew it was going to be from the second that you said a young boy walked into a pharmacy to buy condoms. All right, cigarette and then joke of the evening. And don't forget that the joke of the evening is posted weekly on the FusionNet.org. We usually have that site updated around 7 or 8 p.m. on Friday evening, so definitely look out for that joke. All right, that was amazing. Thank you, Annette. Love that one. From Boise, Idaho. The joke of the evening on FusionNet. All right, let's go on over to K2CVD, who has some traffic he wants to share with us.
Hi, Jason. I always make the mistake of checking in right after a net, so my traffic can't even compete with hers. But just one quick thing before I give my traffic. Howie, KD2MSU, was on XLX, and he did not time out on XLX. So the only timeout occurs on WiresX. And so I think you have to give him a little slack for that. But my traffic is this. Some of you know that I grew up in Queens. So yesterday, I went to Flushing Meadow Corona Park, which is across the street from Citi Field in Flushing, Queens, to visit the Queens Museum and it's right next to the Unisphere that was the symbol of the 1964 World's Fair. And if anybody is in and around New York or visiting New York, this is a hidden treasure in New York City. The Queens Museum is a lovely place. It has a panorama of New York City. Presumably every single building in all 5 boroughs is represented there. And you walk around it. It takes about 10 minutes to walk around it. It's huge. And it's just beautiful. And so I just thought, I would highlight that because people coming to New York would never think of going there. People living in New York don't think of going there. It's a beautiful park. Bring your lunch, sit by the Unisphere, and then go into the museum. One other thing about the museum, it's a historic place. It was the building that housed the first meeting of the General Assembly of the United Nations while they were building the United Nations in Manhattan. And it's where they took the vote to declare Israel a country. So it's a very historic place. K2CVD, back to net control.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I sort of take it for granted because I have been there myself, and it's probably because I live in Great Neck, which is not too far from Flushing. I mean, I'm in Nassau County, that's in Queens County, but not too far from me. And I have been there. It is an absolutely beautiful place to be. I highly agree with what K2CVD has said. Definitely bring your lunch. Enjoy everything that park has to offer because it's a wonderful, wonderful place. The park and the museum both. Um, Fun fact about the United Nations that the first spot of the United Nations. Actually, I've shared this with you guys in the past was down on Marcus Avenue in Nassau County, right between the Nassau and Queens border, not far from where Long Island Jewish Hospital is, which is both in Nassau and in Queens. Um, and the building is still there. It's used as office buildings now, and I think part of it's used as a medical facility now as well, even. But all of you'll know the spot because it has all the flags, including, of course, Israel. Israel is right there, right next to the U.S. flag. So very, very cool stuff right there. K2CVV, thank you very much, my friend. All right, I think that clears the traffic. So we're going to now check to see if any other stations want to check in. Please call Net Control now if you would. KD2 LRF.
Alpha Golf 7 Whiskey, Quebec, Wesley in Coolidge, Arizona, where the outside temperature is 90 degrees, no traffic.
All right, Wesley, we have you in there. Welcome aboard, my friend. AG7W2. All right. I gotta say, the excitement of both the Nets joke and K2CVD's traffic in particular. Um, you heard the enthusiasm in my voice. Now it got me dizzy. Guys, I haven't been feeling that well. And that kind of got, I don't know what it did. It got me a little dizzy for a second, but I'm okay. Wow. Anyway, Leslie, welcome aboard for you. Yeah, I'm okay. AG7W2, Leslie, welcome to FusionNet. Any other stations looking to check in, please call Net Control now.
Kilo Charlie 0, Echo Queen Alpha.
If that Kilo station could once more state its call sign and let us know its local temperature and if here's traffic.
Good evening. This is Kilo Charlie Zero, Echo Teen Alpha, Earthquake Administrator. Good evening to the net. New time on, or first time on this net, but anyway, I'm out of Hastings, Nebraska, and that's the south central part of Nebraska. But anyway, just thought I'd check in and let you know it's nice and cool over here right now. Hopefully it warms up again, but I'm not putting anything on that. But anyway, we're doing fine out here in Nebraska, and we'll send it back to net control, KC0EQA.
Well, Doug, we welcome you to FusionNet. Thank you so much for finding us. We do this every Thursday night from 9 p.m. Eastern until whenever, frankly, we want to call it quits. We normally have a question of the evening that is either created by a net control operator or by a participant in FusionNet. You could, if you ever had a question you want to bring up as a topic of discussion, email us at fusion@thefusionnet.org. We also do trivia nights. That'll be happening next week with Joe, AC2AE, our other net control operator. Also, you can visit our website, thefusionnet.org, and if you check it 10 consecutive times, you become a member of FusionNet totally free, and also you get full access to that website. So just let you know. With that said, what is that cool temperature that you have right now in Hastings, Nebraska?
It is 53 degrees and cloudy. We're expecting. Sounds like we're expecting some rain tonight and stuff like that. But otherwise, that's what I got.
All right, so 53 degrees. You do not have the coldest temperature of the night, but you sure do come close. The coldest temperature of the night comes from Wellington, New Zealand. ZL2BEZ so far, who has a temperature 52.6. You're very close there. You're at 53 degrees. So hopefully it warms up for you a little bit. I too don't like the cold weather. Our other net control operators do. So Joey C2AE definitely does. I think Dave may as well, but I'm not really sure. But I certainly do not. So I feel your pain there. All right, any other stations looking to check in, please call net control. All right, well, Dave just confirmed he likes it nice and cool. All right, so with that said, guys, we're going to do a question of the evening. This question comes from me, Katie2LR. I had another one planned for you. But I thought that maybe what I would do is I would change it to kind of make it a little lighter for tonight, only because I am a little under the weather and maybe make this a little more casual than what I was going to ask you. So that question will come in upcoming weeks, either as my next go around or the go around after. Depends if I want to do another presidential trivia, which I definitely have in mind. We'll have to see. So, tonight's question is, outside of amateur radio, what are some of your other hobbies and interests? So, outside of amateur radio, what are some of your other hobbies and interests? We're going to start with AC2AE, Joe in Gravesend, Brooklyn, for his answer tonight.
Wow, that's such a great question, man. Oof, I am involved in so many different things. Well, aside from amateur radio, just electronics, period. So I've always been into electronics. That's why I adapted to amateur radio so well. But aside from that, some of you guys know recently I ventured into opening my own business. So I do T-shirts. As Jay was saying earlier tonight, not only do I do T-shirts, I do jumpsuits, I do hoodies, I do mugs, I do picture frames. I pretty much anything in the engraving business or anything in the printing business as well. Dave is funny. Dave, you're a comedian, man. We gotta get you on stage. I also enjoy riding my bike. I recently acquired an e-bike, modified it a little bit to make it go faster, more speed, Captain. What else do I like to do? I like food. One of my biggest hobbies is cooking. I happen to be an awesome cook. I've been in the food industry for over, well, now it's more than that now. So now it's almost, let's see, I'm 52. So I have been in the food industry for over 40 years, guys. 40 years I've been in the food industry. All the way from when my father had a butcher shop to a Salamaria. For those who don't know what a Salamaria is, it is it's a pork store, um, cold cuts, prepared food. So I've done a lot of cooking over the years, and that's happened to become one of my passions. Um, and if you guys are ever in New York, please look AC2AE up. I will definitely invite you over to my house. I specialize in Italian dishes. See that I'm Italian. I also cook American. I do some Chinese. Am I timing out yet? No, not yet. Boy, what else do I like to do? Man, so many things here. I like to target shoot. So I can't really have a gun here in New York because it's a incredibly retarded liberal state. Sorry for all the liberals that are out there. I'm not saying you're retarded. Just New York is a retarded liberal state, and they frown on firearms. So I have to go elsewhere to target shoot. Let me let this drop. Okay, probably one of my favorite, not just hobbies, but my favorite lifestyle. I have recently come to God, and I just love worshiping God. I love going to church. I love reading my scriptures, and if I am not doing any of the other things, 90% of the time you will catch me reading scriptures. Just love it. Can't get enough of it. Jesus Christ has saved my life, and I owe everything to Him, and always will. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is Alpha Charlie 2 Alpha Echo. One of my favorite hobbies is to laugh at the stupid stuff. Can't say that, Jay. The stupid stuff that Joe Biden does. Oh my gosh! It's more than just stupid. It is. Oh my gosh! I never thought I would ever see the day that we have a president with dementia and they just cheer him on. AC2AE.
Yes, absolutely. Joe, thank you so much. The e-bike hobby that Joe's into, I am dying to see his e-bike. I'm dying to see him, dying to play around on the thing. Um, that is such a cool hobby that Joe has recently got into, I think, within like the last year or so. And I think it's just so awesome. I am dying to see his e-bike. Um, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Cruise around Grays in Brooklyn. That'd be fun, actually. We should do that soon, Joe. All right. Let's go on over to KB6VHR, where Chris and Cape Coral. Actually, I'm sorry, Michael Rotelso is standing by. And Michael, we want to know from you what some of your favorite hobbies outside of amateur radio are. KB6, VHR, Michael, are you still with us? Yeah, sorry about that. Had to run outside and I overfilled my hot tub. Let's see here. Hobbies. Whoa. Besides ham radio, are there others? Like Joe, I'm into any kind of electronics, audio, video, that sort of thing. Uh, and also guns. I have the advantage of being out in the county and I shoot in my backyard. You know, don't have to worry about taking beer to the range, and the range master getting upset because, well, I am the range master. I'm into RC toys, cars, boats. Right now, my main sickness is quadcopters, and that's the main deal right now. But I've got a little park flyer in the shop, a P-38. And I've got an E-Revo 10 scale monster truck, and a whole bunch of other different Chinese quadcopters and things like that. I don't like the word drone. I don't know if you tack that on there, but if it's got 4 rotors, it's a quadcopter. And I'm also an off-roader. Have been for years and years when I lived in California, even before I moved here to Washington. Motorcycles, quads, and when I got here, me and the wife ended up buying a 2021 Polaris Razor side-by-side turbocharged 181 horsepower. Most fun I've ever had with my clothes on. Bicycle riding, fishing, pretty much any kind of fun. Except hiking, not too much into that. I'd rather ride my bike. Back to
KV6DHR. You know, I knew a lot about your hobbies and things you're into outside of ham radio from when we had our Thanksgiving Zoom or Cisco WebEx. I forgot which one we were on. Cisco, I think it was Zoom actually. Virtual net, where for those who weren't on it, not only was everybody on the amateur radio, but everyone saw each other through the Zoom webcam, which is pretty awesome. And we have more of those planned for this year as well. But Michael was telling us about some of those hobbies. He was telling us about his shooting range. He was telling us about his quads or his ATVs. And also, I knew from then that he doesn't refer to drones as being drones. They're quadcopters. So I remember all of that very, very well, as if it was yesterday. And I can't believe, guys, we're almost at that point where we'll be doing our pre-Thanksgiving virtual net. Not too far from now. That's kind of crazy to think. Wow. Anyway, with that said, very good. Thank you very much, Michael in Kelso, Washington. We'll go over to KV2 IBX in Cape Coral, Florida. So, Christopher, outside of amateur radio, what are some of your other hobbies?
Well, aside from ham radio, I'm a huge scanner buff. I've got multiple base models and handhelds. Even got one in the car. So that's pretty much a lot of fun for me. And of course, most electronic stuff I tinker with a lot. And that's about it for hobbies. But right now, ham radio's got it all for me because I'm having the time of my life. Ever since I retired, man, it's a lot of fun. All the digital modes. Anyhow, back to you, KB2IDX, back to net control.
KB2, IDX, love it. I love the scanner hobby. That's one of my old-time favorites as well. I've got a few scanners myself. The one I've been playing around with the most is my SDS 100 Bearcat scanner. Love it. Love the capabilities of that handheld and some of my others as well. That's great. And going and your scanner hobby and your amateur radio hobby, they definitely go hand in hand. I think that they both like ignite excitement and passion in each other. And there's nothing like getting on your amateur radio, chatting it up with people, and having like all your scanners and everything going on at the same time, and kind of hearing that like all at once. It's at least for me, it's kind of fun. So I appreciate that, KB2 IVX. Thank you very much. All right, Dennis, we want to know what your favorite hobbies are outside of amateur radio and 5BWR from KB2LRX.
Well, Jay, besides ham radio, of course, I dabble a little bit in photography, and my second love is guns, shooting, target practice, whatever you want to call it. I've done that for the biggest share of my life. I've always enjoyed that. Living in Texas, I'm just one of millions with a gun. So that's about it. My interests lie pretty much in those areas. So back to you, Jay. And 5 PWR.
Well, I love hearing all the people that are into the shooting and the gun hobby and going to the range and all that. It's interesting. I've always been a huge fan of that hobby myself. I've shot many times, but am I pro at it? No. Do I know nearly as much as you guys in it? No, absolutely not. And I credit New York State with me not knowing as much as I don't about the hobby. But I can assure you it's one that I want to learn more and more about. Fun little fact, they said, that the younger generation of, I guess, millennials and zillennials and people who are really young, they're more into the gun hobby than people my age, older than my age, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of cool. It'll stay around for quite some time. It ain't going nowhere, even though a lot of liberals want it to go by the wayside. It ain't going nowhere. But I will tell you this, that my brother, who's far less conservative than me, lived in New York his entire life. He moved to Florida about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And he told me just recently that his whole mentality towards guns has changed. He said, I have a newfound respect for them. I understand them a lot more. I can understand why people want to and should have a gun. And I think that's great that he saw that. And if you practice gun safety, why shouldn't anyone have a gun? And I think that's pretty awesome that so many of you guys are hobbyists in that area as well. All right, Dennis, thank you very much. And 5BWR. We'll go over to Paul in Wellington, New Zealand. What are some of your hobbies outside of amateur radio? ZL2BEZ? ZL2BEZ, are you still with us? All right, nothing heard from ZL2BEZ. So with that said, since we're hitting the top of the hour, I'd like to do another call for check-ins. Any station looking to check into FusionNet, here's your chance to do it. Please call Net Control now. KD2 LRX. Calling check-ins. Any stations looking to check into FusionNet, please call net control now. 82 LRX. All right, with nothing heard, let's try VL2BEZ one more time to see what his hobbies outside of amateur radio are.
Yeah, KD2LRX and L2BZ. Thank you, Jason. Not much really. I do, like some of the others, I do participate in the electronics area. I've got a bit of video gear, a bit of hi-fi gear, and all that sort of stuff. So it's closely allied, but not quite. But anyway, thanks very much. I was just away from the radio for a little while there. Sorry about the delay. Back to you, back to net controls at L2BZ. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much, VL2BEZ. Appreciate that. Electronic hobby, another big theme of you guys saying that outside amateur radio, you guys like to tinker with electronics, and I love that, and I could totally agree with that one as well. So VL2BEZ, thank you so much. KD2MSU, what are some of your hobbies outside of amateur radio?
Okay, one obvious one is the weather. You know, at a technical level, it's not just a hobby, you know, looking at forecasts. I make my own, and I understand the workings of the atmosphere. Okay, other hobbies, play the guitar, handball, that's with the little ball, little blue, say, swimming. I haven't done much in the last 3 years because of the COVID situation. In 2020, I didn't go in the water at all. I think it was like the first year since I was a kid that I didn't go in the water. See what else. Oh, play chess against computer. I have scanner, digital scanner. That'll be good until they all become encrypted and we become a communist country altogether. Okay, that's about it. This is Kilo Delta 2, Mike Sierra Uniform, back to net control.
KD2MSU, thank you very much. I knew about the scanner hobby of yours, and of course I knew about the weather one as well. Yeah, and I totally hear you about more and more scanners, more and more stations that we try to scan public service frequencies becoming more and more encrypted, and that stinks for a lot of different reasons, more so than just the scanner hobby. You know, having a free and open society as well. But we won't get into that now. KD2MSG, thank you very much. We'll go on over to WB9LUL. Eugene, want to know what your hobbies are outside of amateur radio? WV9LUL, are you still with us, Eugene? All right, nothing heard from WB9LUL. So we'll go on over to a guy I know who has many different hobbies, the one and only KG0BK, for his answer to tonight's question.
Well, good evening, Jay, and everyone on the net. Yeah, it really brings back a lot of stuff. Some I used to do, some I'm still doing. I used to really enjoy motorcycles. In fact, I was a motorcycle mechanic for, wow, a long time. Because I enjoyed nature. And what better way to see nature than on a motorcycle? And motorcycles were fun, too. So that was way back when I was a lot younger. So unfortunately, don't do that. Although I still love nature. And once in a while, driving down the road in the car, I will pull over, Babbling Brook or something, little bridge I went over, and go, that kind of looks neat. And I pull off the side, go down and look at the Babbling Brook. But basically now it's computers, computer building, programming, repairing electronics, and building electronics, of course balloons. I'm into weather, not like Howie, but I really love studying that. And shortwave listening. Shortwave listening is unbelievable at times. And any kind of remote toys, actually, if it's powered by electricity, I want to play with it. And then I do some Bible study, and thanks to Joe, even more Bible study. Right when you think you know it all, you find out you don't know it all. But that's kind of the things. They're just just basically electronics. That's the basic big thing, I guess. Thanks, Jay. KG0BK.
All right, Ross C. Balloons, thank you very much for that. I didn't know you were a motorcycle mechanic. That's very, very interesting. Fascinating stuff. Ham radio, broadcast engineering, motorcycle mechanic, weather aficionado, balloon guy. I mean, this guy's really done it all, you know? You know, Frank Sinatra has that song My Way? Russ could have that song too. He's done all these things. That's incredible. That's amazing stuff. Very, very awesome. KG0BK, Manchester, Iowa. We're going over to N7MKY, Dave, in Boise, Idaho. David, what are some of your hobbies outside of amateur radio? Keep this clean.
N7MKY. Keep it clean. That's like asking Cheech and Chong to tell a clean joke. Yeah. Well, I think everybody knows my extracurricular hobbies. Firearms and computers and building utilities for net control operators to harass each other with. Do like motorcycles. I don't ride them anymore. Too many close calls and too many idiots out on the road, so don't do that anymore. And I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Dave, very cool. Yeah, Dave loves to do a lot of amateur radio stuff. Likes to do a lot of building of gear that keeps us all connected. I'm looking right now at the N7MKY dashboard. I'm looking at our little proprietary chat tools that we use while we're all on the air for the net. The guy does a lot of really cool stuff. He gets our YouTube channel up and running as well. So he's got some pretty cool hobbies. And by the way, in addition to our YouTube channel, the guy also has a YouTube channel where he's reviewed and evaluated different antennas and stuff like that. So really, really neat stuff. N7MKY, thank you very, very much. All right, KJ7 BJS in Winnemucca, Nevada tonight. Kevin, we want to know what some of your hobbies are outside of amateur radio.
Very good question. Net control. This is KJ7BJS. Let's see. I'm quite an outdoor guy. So I currently, my number one hobby outside of amateur radio is riding motorcycles. I ride a particular style of motorcycle that is capable of riding dirt roads and trails, but as well as going down the highway. So it's a big dirt bike with a road bike motor, and Idaho is my hometown. Idaho is my home state, and it has 30,000 miles of dirt roads, so I am exploring all the backcountry, mountains, ghost towns, mining towns, fire lookouts on top of the mountains, all the places I don't want to drive and bounce around in a vehicle to get there. So I ride my motorcycle. I camp off my motorcycle. So that's my number one hobby. Number two, my wife and I do a lot of downhill snow skiing. Number three, we do a lot of whitewater rafting. And I'm also very much into firearms. I'm like some of the others that live out in the country. I can shoot firearms from my back door. I'm into archery, and I used to do a lot of archery elk hunting until I got the current job I'm in now, and then I travel around. I'm too busy. So a lot of outdoor activities and camping. Anyways, on and on and on. Appreciate the question. Appreciate you letting me join the group. KJ7BJS in Winnemucca, Nevada tonight. Reside in Idaho. Back to net control.
Kevin, thank you so much. And guys, definitely check out Winnemucca if you haven't seen it online yet or you haven't visited yourself. Kevin got me wanting to check this place out. It's really, really neat. And really cool history Kevin was telling us a little bit earlier in the pre-portion of the net. His hobbies, great. Love them. The shooting hobby, the really cool motorcycle hobby that he's got also. Very, very neat. Cool off-roading stuff that he's doing. Love it. I'm loving these hobbies. You guys are inspiring me to maybe pick up some new ones myself. So I think that's really awesome. All right, we'll go on over to ND7SS. Ted in Indian Springs, Nevada. We want to know from you, sir, what some of your hobbies are outside of amateur radio.
Okay, yeah, thank you much for calling me in there. This is ND7SS in Indian Springs, Nevada, where my hobby is smoking meats. I love smoking meat there and doing all that good stuff outdoors like that, barbecuing and so forth. Nothing's more pleasing than having a rack of ribs there, you know, that you bite into and it can fall off the bone. Yeah, I think I'll have to do that tomorrow. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Or another thing, you make a pulled pork sandwich for somebody and they take a bite out of it and they look over at you and say, "Hey, Ken, I gotta have this recipe, man. This is good." You know, nothing makes you feel more better when someone's liking what you're cooking there. You know, hope Hope I'm not making too many mouths water out there, but that's one of my favorite hobbies there. And I also like woodworking. Yeah, I like to build things, you know, and it's all sorts of things like that. Out of wood, I like to build things. So that's the fun thing there. So okay, there. Thanks a lot. You're doing a great job on this net there, Jason. Have a good evening, and we'll turn it back to you. This is NV7SS in Indian Springs, Nevada.
NV7SS. Yes, I remember your smoking meat hobby. I remember that. All the ribs and everything that you said. You actually also told us that during one of our virtual nets, which is very cool stuff. You got me in the mood for that stuff now. I haven't held down a solid food in days, and I assure you that when I'm able to again, I'm definitely hitting up a barbecue place. You inspired me, Ken. That's my next meal when when I'm feeling better and well enough to do it. My first inaugural meal of being a normal human being again after this virus I have is going to be eating some kind of brisket or whole pork or barbecue ribs or something with good barbecue sauce. That's what I want. You know? Oh yeah. You've definitely got me in the mood. NV7SF. I wanna come to your house. KK7AYJ. Cigarette and Net. What are some of your hobbies outside of amateur radio?
KK7AYJ to the group. I used to have hobbies, but not so much anymore. We're hoping that when this chapter is all taken care of and our moms are all healthy, that we have time. But like in 7MKY, I like going to the range here in Idaho. We have both indoor for handguns and long rifles, and we have outdoor ranges right up the road. We moved here with jet skis, changed to snowmobile, changed to side-by-sides. Now we're getting old and everything hurts, so I stay home and walk around the park with my dogs. So that's about it, and a little bit of community service with both the veterans and the Women's and Children's Alliance. That keeps us busy. Back to net control.
Well, that has to be one of my favorite hobbies that I heard all night, and that you know, helping the veterans, those who served our country to protect all of us, giving back to them. That is wonderful. That is so wonderful, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that, you and Dave. And yeah, more hobbies along the way. Listen, the cool thing about hobbies is that you can always get new ones, right? There's always something out there. Um, my fiance probably hates the amount of hobbies that I have. Actually, no, I know she doesn't actually, which is something great about her. She supports me in every hobby I have. So I think that's awesome. And I think it's I think well your hobbies are great in that, and you know, maybe in a year or so we'll bring this question up again, and you'll tell us about a brand new hobby that you have on top of it. So very cool. All right, we'll go on over to TTCVD. We want to know from you, sir, what some of your favorite hobbies outside of amateur radio are.
Hi, Jason, and hi, everybody on the net. Very, very interesting answers, and I really enjoy listening to what people have to say. My hobbies are a little bit different. Right now, my biggest hobby, since I am a diehard New York Mets fan, is baseball. I'm really into baseball. I want to follow the Mets as far as they can go, and There's another team in New York City that I hope they can beat in the World Series. So that's my big one right now. I also enjoy reading, mostly mysteries and biographies. I really like doing that. Like Howie, I actually want to get better at chess. So over the winter, when we're a little bit more limited about going out, I'm going to put more effort into chess. And then maybe next year I'll get back into bike riding. So that's kind of what I have in mind for hobbies. KGCVD, back to net control.
K2CVD. Him and his Mets. We know that he loves the Mets. For over the many years that he's been on this Met, we know that he's a huge Mets fan. You know, the Queens born and raised kid, loving his Mets, and I don't blame you. I happen to be a Mets fan. I'm probably one of the only Mets fans in my family, besides my cousin. I always liked the Yankees, but never loved the Yankees like I love the Mets. So yeah, if the Mets Yankees were in a World Series, I would root for the Mets. 100%. I love that hobby, and I'll tell you something: you can't be in New York without turning on TV and seeing some coverage of either the Mets or the Yankees these days. There's a lot of news on both ends right now, and it's kind of an exciting time as we are in mid to late September. Very cool. Bike riding. Bike riding's a cool one. Especially, I'm visualizing KTCVD bringing his bike down to Flushing, Queens, and riding around Flushing and riding around the park. By the old Flushing Meadows, where he was telling us that he was earlier. That would be really beautiful to do. So KTCVD, thank you very much, my friend. We're going over to San Angelo, Texas, where we want to know what Ralph's hobbies outside of amateur radio are. K85ULE from KD2LRX. And very cool sticker, Joe. I love that. That is sweet.
Let me see if I got this. Do I got it? Oh, yeah, I think I got it. I couldn't resist. I had to do it. I had some extra scraps here, so I said I got to make it. For those who don't know, I made a Thundercats decal. Two-tone, two colors, and I am a Met fan too. That's right, we are very far and few. A lot of people won't admit to being Met fans, but there are a lot of closet Met fans out there. And I am proud to say, in my youth and in my crazy days, I beat up a Yankee fan. Woohoo!
Only Joe. That's awesome. God, Joe, that sticker is great. Amazing talent right there. Awesome job. All right, we will go on over to K85ULA in San Angelo for his answer to tonight's question. K85ULE, are you still with us, sir, from KD2LRX? Nothing heard from San Angelo, Texas, so we'll go on over to KC4ZYC, where our friend Howard in Orlando is joining us. Howard, in addition to amateur radio, what are some of your other hobbies?
KC4 ZY, KC4 ZYC from KD2LRX. Are you still with us? Alright, nothing heard. I guess some people are signing off because it's getting a little bit later. I'm not sure. We're going over to AG7WQ. I know Wesley's got to be standing by in Coolidge, Arizona. Wesley, I want to know, what are some of your favorite hobbies outside of amateur radio?
Well, first I'm reminded that it was Dostoevsky that asked, on what subject can man speak with the greatest of pleasure? And the answer was himself. I've had and still have a variety of hobbies. I'm an avid amateur astronomer, and my buddies and I have set up for public events so that people can get a chance to look through a telescope on hundreds of occasions in parks or schools, scouts, church groups, pretty much anybody that will stand still. And that's given me the opportunity to travel all over the country, a little bit out of the country. I've used the 60-inch telescope on Mount Wilson a couple of times, the 60-inch at Palomar. My physics teacher from high school and I had a night on the 72-inch Struve telescope at McDonald Observatory in Texas, but we got rained out. I've dabbled in photography off and on all my life. When I was about 11 or 12, which is 60-some years ago, my father taught me how to process film and gave me a camera, and I have dabbled on and off in that hobby ever since. I've been an avid shooter all of my life. I still shoot fairly actively, even though I'm somewhat physically limited. I've taken my daughters and my grandkids to defensive handgun classes, multi-day classes. In fact, I was just shooting with my younger daughter and my youngest grandson a couple of days ago. As most of you know, I used to be a firefighter. I was a firefighter for 26 years until the career-ending back injury. And that's caused me to have to give up on some of the hobbies that I used to enjoy. I used to be an avid cyclist. I've ridden bicycles all over 11 western states. I still have a Criterion bike, although I can't ride it anymore. I've done the 200-mile Seattle to Portland bicycle classic with my nephew twice. Resetting. I had a midget ocean racer, a sailboat that I used to race. I used to be an avid sailboat racer. I've raced all up and down the California coast. I've raced a lot on San Diego Bay. I've raced a lot on San Francisco Bay. And I've raced to Hawaii twice. I used to have an airplane for about 5 years. I had a little airplane. I used to go out and fly upside down in that once in a while, but that was pretty much just, for fun on the weekends. But putting a few of these things together, I actually have a picture that I took sitting at the bombardier's position in a B-17 doing a low pass down the runway at what then was Miramar Naval Air Station, the home of Top Gun. It's since been converted to a Marine Corps air station. But I'm going to run with that Top Gun Maverick theme for just a second to point out that the movie, basically, some of the pictures, for those of you who have seen the latest Top Gun Maverick movie, a lot of the shooting was done in and around San Diego, Point Loma. There's Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery on Point Loma, which is where my wife's parents' remains are both placed. They both served during World War II. North Island, of course, is where Top Gun operates out of now. And there was a sailing scene in that movie as well. The sailing scene wasn't in San Diego. The sailing scene was actually shot on San Francisco Bay. apparently they shot it in San Diego and it wasn't impressive enough because San Diego's pretty much light air. So they moved the crew up to San Francisco so they could have a more spectacular sailing segment for the movie. Anyway, I've talked about myself enough, so with that I'm going to say back to net control. AG7WQ.
Wesley in Coolidge, Arizona. Wow, that is a fascinating set of hobbies that you have, and thank you for that Top Gun trivia. That's awesome. Now I have to rewatch the original Top Gun. Still haven't seen the new Top Gun, but I have to see the original again, which I've seen many times, to see the fact that they filmed some of it in San Francisco. That's really, really cool. Love these hobbies that everybody's sharing with us tonight outside of amateur radio. You know, I did this question definitely taught me a lot of new things about you guys, and I hope it taught you stuff about each other. You know, we have a lot of commonalities outside of just the amateur radio hobby. It's fascinating. So thank you very much, Wesley, AG7WQ. We're going over to KC0EQA in Hastings, Nebraska. We want to know, Douglas, outside of amateur radio, what are some of your other hobbies?
Well, good evening again. This is Kilo Charlie Zero Echo Queen Alpha out of Hastings, Nebraska. Well, as far as hobbies go, I do a lot of stuff with computer programming and do a lot of stuff with that. I enjoy doing that. And I don't really have a whole lot of other hobbies. Just keeping, you know, I do a lot of stuff at work. Of course, at work, I'm not a computer programmer there. I just do most of it on my own. And when I get home, and then I do a lot of stuff with the Raspberry Pis and all sorts of stuff. I got like 10 of them running the house here and stuff, doing different things. Of course, I got I do a lot of the. I have an XLX reflector that I built that does DMR, YSF, and D-Star all together. And then I do a lot of stuff with DV Switch and stuff like that. And right now I built the bridge from the Wires X from my area that I can get into everything and stuff. So it does pretty good for me for digital stuff. So I do a lot of stuff with the digital. And anyway, other than that, don't have anything else for the net. So I'll send it back to you, KC0EQA.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff, Doug, in Hastings, Nebraska. Using that programming hobby of yours, crossing that over into amateur radio as well. That's very awesome. That's very, very cool to hear. Thank you so much, KC0EQA. All right, are there any other stations wishing to check into FusionNet at this time? Please call Net Control now.
Kilo Delta 9, Echo Foxtrot Oscar.
All right, KD9DFO, and that's Mark in Litchfield, Illinois. Welcome aboard FusionNet. What's your local temperature this evening?
KD9EFO. Well, we're down to about 58. We've been running about 80, 90 the last couple of days here, and it's cooled off. The cool front's moved through, about 64% humidity. Now we're getting down to more normal, more seasonal type fall weather in south central Illinois. Just north of St. Louis, just east of St. Louis on the Illinois side, about 50 minutes, about like 55. But this is a little more seasonal. Looks like maybe Saturday, it's going to bump up back up to 80. Then after that, she dives down back in the 70s for the high and 40s, mid 40s for the lows for about the next 7-8 days. So, and that's pretty typical for this time of year in this geography. Back to Nick.
Yeah, I'm still in denial about it, but I will tell you that I think our friend EC2A Joe, our fill net control operator, this is the start of his season and the end of mine. I like the warm weather, he likes the cool weather, and it is certainly cooling down, folks. It certainly is. So I appreciate that. Mark, I want to know from you. We have been doing this roundabout, wanting to know outside of amateur radio, what other hobbies do you have? What are some of your other hobbies?
Okay, well, I didn't catch everyone's. I didn't check in until about, you was down about line 14, but anyway, I'm in model railroading, HO scale. Also a little bit on the history side, different aspects of railroading in general. I got train watching too. I'm one of those kind of geeks. So, yes, I have a number of hobbies, and none of them are mainstream by any means, but I enjoy them. I was into that. Well, I've always been in communications way back in an early age, back in my younger years, pre-high school even. But I never got my amateur license till 2015, so it's been a little while. And I enjoy different aspects of amateur radio even from that standpoint too. So good to hear this digital net up. I've not checked into this one before, and I just happen to be. We have a local analog net here that goes over about 5 repeaters, and a simplex net tonight, and a 2-meter sideband net that also occurs in the central Illinois area. And I finished up with those in NetLogger, and I just scan the NetLogger monitoring and see what other nets are out there, and that's how I found this one. But I think that's about it on the hobbies. Between those two, and not retired yet, that keeps me pretty busy. Back to net control.
The model railroading one is, in particular, really awesome, I think. I always wanted to get into model railroading. I never did it. You know, never too late, though. I think that's so cool. That is such an awesome hobby that you have there with model railroading. Actually, one of the funny things that comes into my head with model railroading was when they killed I forgot the guy's name from The Sopranos at the hobby store. Um, but what a great hobby that is. That's really awesome stuff. All right, any other stations looking to check in? Please call Net Control now. TD2 LRX.
It's Bobby Bacala.
I was waiting for you to say it. Bobby Bacala. Yes, Bobby Bacala was the one who got murdered at the hobby store. He was looking for that really expensive train, and then he fell to his death. Right, Joe?
Oh yeah, I had to think for a second. I couldn't think of the last name right off the top of my head. That's why it took me so long to answer. But it was Bobby Bacala. That's who it was.
An iconic scene, just as or almost as iconic as you know Mo Green dying in The Godfather. Uh, great scene, great scene. All right, so my hobbies outside of amateur radio, I guess, at this time. My hobbies are I can't think today.
So my hobbies outside of amateur radio are definitely in the broadcasting realm. I love broadcasting. I did broadcasting um, on the FM dial for the last 23 years now. In addition to that, I've also used my love and my skills for computers, um, my love and skills in communications, um, to create my own internet radio station from my home, which is really neat. I love building these like little studios and everything where I'm able to do that. I have a blast creating all that. Um, the other thing that I'm kind of into, but sort of from afar, are I'm into old school like heavy machinery like trucks, buses, trains, everything from commuter railways to freight trains to um, vintage and old, commuter buses, commuter school buses from back in the day, to you name it, bulldozers, tractor trailers, you name it. I mean, if you saw my YouTube feed or whatever, you'd see like all of that stuff that I'm into. Um, into cars as well, um, learning about them, learning the mechanicals behind them. More into the older stuff than I am the newer stuff. That's just kind of my preference. I like the stuff that's kind of older. So those are some of my hobbies. I'm trying to think what else. Really anything computer, electronics, equipment, communications related. Um, I'm going to start podcasting in the next couple of months. In fact, I just did my first podcast with a famous musician that will be coming out in a couple of weeks. So I'm really excited about that. Um, I would love to learn more about video. I don't really do that much stuff in the video realm. I don't have I was going to say camcorders. Hold on, I'm going to let this drop. I don't have anything like video cameras or anything like that. I would love to, but don't have that at this point. But maybe down the road. And also, like I was saying just a little bit earlier when Mark was talking about model trains and stuff like that, I would love to get into that hobby at some point. I think I need a bigger apartment to make that happen, though. So, let me tell you something. If I got a bigger place, my hobbies would like double or triple. Because there's so much cool stuff that I could see myself doing. I probably have more hobby rooms than bedrooms. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Any other stations looking to check in? All right, nothing heard. With that said, any comments, questions, anything else that anybody wants to say during the net right now? Here's your chance. KD2 LRX.
In 7MKY.
Roll.
Second K2CBE and 7MKY wants to share something.
Thank you very much, Net Control and 7MKY. I just want to remind everybody, I know it's been said a couple of times this evening already, but we do have a YouTube channel for the FusionNet.org, so please check it out. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We promise we will be bringing more YouTube content to the channel, other than our weekly streams, live streams. But keep that in mind. If you are unable to make the net via radio, you are more than welcome to check out the live stream. We will be monitoring the chat going forward, so you can check in that way as well. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button so you're always notified when there's a special event, whether it be Zoom or any other nets that are being held on 40821. also n7mky.com. That is my website. I have a lot of entertaining YouTube videos there as well. And while you're there, there's a little, hey, tell me you visited. So we'll check in log there to say hi and let me know that you stopped by. As well as some other interesting facts. If you want to see just about how much I FT8, you can always look on the PSK Reporter tab, and it'll show you just how well I'm populating on the My Go-To antenna. Other than that, that's all I wanted to say. Just kind of plugging away at FusionNet.org. Become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. Back again, Net Control.
And 7MKY, thank you very much. And check out that YouTube channel, guys. It's very, very cool. Very, very good stuff. Thank you, David, and 7MKY. Yeah, your KGCVD for tonight's stat.
Thank you, Jason. Here go the stats for tonight. I just texted them to you. We had 5 time zones, 10 U.S. states, 1 New Zealand region, and I hope that's right. If that's wrong, please correct me. 2 countries, 2 continents, and 15 cities, and no net control timeouts. K2CVD, back to net control.
All right. Thank you very much. Love having that New Zealand region in there as well. And I believe they are cold regions. I was actually looking them up last time. So just see something. New Zealand. Put them in here. So Wellington is a region in the North Island of New Zealand. It's all the way at the top. It's kind of a peninsula. So there you have it. I remember that last time I was net control operator, I was putting the stats in on the website, and I looked that up. It was pretty cool. So thank you very much. Our resident statistician, FusionNet, K2CVD. Thank you, sir. All right. Any other comments, questions for the net before we wrap things up for the evening? All right, folks, with nothing heard. This is the weekly meeting of the FusionNet, where we meet every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And our mission is to help educate those individuals interested in learning about the amateur radio hobby and to continue building the fellowship of hams across the world. We host this weekly net on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, where participants pass traffic and comments, and we discuss all things amateur radio related with an emphasis on the various digital modes and beyond. Each week, Net Control either presents a question or topic open for discussion as we did tonight, or host a trivia night, which will happen next week. I'm excited about that with Joe AC2AE, where participants put their knowledge to the test on various amateur radio topics. We encourage participants to email us with subjects they would like to discuss in future nets. How do you email us? Simple. Email us at fusion@thefusionnet.org. Again, fusion@thefusionnet.org. You can email us with subjects you'd like to discuss on future nets. Tell us what you think of the net. Any questions, comments, suggestions, we're open to it all. Most of all, we want you to have fun. Why? Because at the end of the day, this is your net. And we want to make sure we're covering topics you, yeah, that's right, you want to discuss. Go on over and check out our FusionNet website. It's really neat. So FusionNet.org. There you'll see who checked in. You'll find the warmest and coldest temperatures of the evening. You'll get cigarette and net joke of the evening, and so much more. Don't forget, you only get full access to the website if you check in 10 consecutive times to FusionNet. So check in 10 consecutive times, and you get full access to the website, and you instantly and totally free of charge become a free lifelong member to the FusionNet. So why not do that? Club members contribute their time and their money to provide all these services to the local amateur radio community, and we would appreciate your support. Okay, with that said, are there any link check-ins to this net? Please call Net Control now. All right, with nothing heard, I'd like to thank the following stations for checking in and contributing to the FusionNet this evening. Without you guys, it's just Joe, myself, and Dave talking to each other. Which is cool, but, you know, I mean, it's nice to have a bigger group like we do each and every Thursday night. So we'd like to thank, of course, my right-hand man, my partner in crime, Joe, AC2AE, Gravesend, Brooklyn. How about Michael in Kelso, Washington, KB6, DHR? We had in Cape Coral, Florida, KB2IDX, that's Chris. Dennis in Spring, Texas, N5DWR. We had in Wellington, New Zealand, ZL2BEZ, and KB2MSU in Coney Island, Brooklyn. We also had WB9LUL in the Bronx, New York. Manchester, Iowa's own KG0BK, Russ. And 7MKY, Dave in Boise, Idaho. In Winnemucca, Nevada, usually in the Boise area himself, it's Kevin, KJ7BJS. We had Ken in Indian Springs, Nevada, NV7SS. And Annette in Boise, Idaho, that is KK7AYJ. We had K2CVD on the Upper West Side of New York City, our resident statistician, Chris. We had in San Angelo, Texas, KA5ULE. That's Ralph in, once again, San Angelo, Texas. We had Howard in Orlando, Florida, KC4ZYC. Thanks for joining us. How about Wesley in Coolidge, Arizona, AG7WQ? In Hastings, Nebraska, KC0EQA. And then in Litchfield, Illinois, KD9EFO. And I gotta tell you guys, having all of you on this net just proves that I have an interesting and fun and exciting group of friends after hearing all those hobbies that you guys, you know, take on. I think you guys are all fascinating, awesome individuals, and it was so fun hearing about the hobbies that you had outside the amateur radio world this evening on the net. Before we close out the net officially, I do want to go over who had the warmest and coldest temperatures of the night. Tonight's warmest temperature, it was close, but one station really came out as a true winner tonight, and that is N5DWR. He had a warm temperature of 92 degrees. For our coldest temperature of the night, also very, very close, but only one station got the cigar, and that's ZL2BEZ. That's Paul in Wellington, New Zealand, where he had 52.6 degrees. The runner-up was our friend in Hastings, Nebraska, KC0EQA, who had 53 degrees. So, congratulations to those two winning stations. And with that said, it is the end of the net. Remember this as we close things out. In the great words of inventor and futurist Nikola Tesla, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, simply think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is Kilo Delta 2 Lima Romeo X-ray. The FusionNet is now over, and the network is returned to casual communications. 7-3 to all. Have a great night and an even better weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay good, my friends.